At least 8 million Americans suffer from anorexia or bulimia, diseases with the highest mortality rates of any mental illness.
About 125,000 people in Colorado suffer from an eating disorder.
11 million Americans are suffering from eating disorders, the most deadly of all mental illnesses.
95% of those with eating disorders are between 12 and 25.
Half of all fourth grade girls, they're on a diet, believe it or not.
While you may know someone who struggles with food issues, you may not realize all of the accompanying dangers.
20% of people with anorexia will die prematurely.
Picture this, waking up every morning and everybody that you meet on the street yelling at you, telling you everything that is bad about you. Your weight, your hair, what you're eating, what you're not eating, anything. That's just a small snippet of what having an eating disorder is like. Except instead of people yelling at you, it's all happening inside of your head.
I wish that people could understand what it's like to live with an eating disorder. I wish people could understand what it's like to every day wake up and think that I'm not good enough, I'm not loved, I'm not accepted, to feel like I'm being rejected by society.
The voice of an eating disorder is horrific. I can't do anything anymore without hearing it. I can't put on clothes without hearing, you look too fat in that makes your arms look too wide. I hear so many negative comments in my head. It's really disheartening.
I really think this documentary is very, very helpful. I'm a psychology major, and even just learning about eating disorders in school, they're like, oh, well, anorexia is restriction and bulimia is binging and purging. And I really think a lot of people don't understand that there is a wide overlap, and it's more so on a continuum of behaviors. And they think it's all about the behavior. It's all about, oh, well, if you starve yourself and you weigh 80 pounds, then you're anorexic. Or if you throw up your food, you're bulimic. They're like, why? That's so stupid. Why would you do that? And so I think this documentary is going to be very, very helpful to help people understand the psychological torment behind it. Like, it's not just an obsession.
And you get into a self-bullying almost, and it's, you're not good enough, you're fat, you shouldn't be eating this, you don't need that. When in reality, you do.
And I really wish that people could understand what it's like. I wish that they could almost get into our heads. They could understand the mind of somebody who has an eating disorder, who feels like they have to control their lives in that way. Or somebody else on the opposite end of the spectrum who thinks that that's the only way that they can get comfort.
I wish they'd understood how much of a battle this is, how awful it is to wake up in the morning and the first thing you think about is, what am I going to eat today? What you can and can't eat? Why you can't eat it, to get up and have the number on the scale determine if you're going to have a good day or not.
I personally felt for so long that what I was going through wasn't important enough, that I wasn't sick enough, that I didn't deserve the help because of the fact that I just wasn't enough. So I didn't see the point in getting help.
Every moment that I lived in this struggle, I was completely consumed by it. The thoughts of food and what I couldn't have, what I did have that day, like it just kept racking up in my mind. I had to control my life. I felt so out of control that the only thing that I knew I could control was my weight and what I looked like, and even that wasn't good enough. There was no substance to that kind of control at all, and it left me feeling empty. It left me feeling alone, like no one around me really understood.
I really wish that people understood that it is a constant battle, not with just food, but with my own self-worth and how I use food to calm the anxiety in my head or to feel better about who I am as a person.
I hope people realize that this isn't for attention. Nobody wants to be like this, and if anybody wants to be like this, then I feel so god-awful for them.
I almost feel like schizophrenic sometimes. I feel like there's like this other part of me, and it's like this voice always in my head saying, you're fat, don't eat that. How many calories does that have? How much fat is in that? You're gonna get fat if you eat that. It's a constant like racing voice in my head, and it consumes everything.
Like every time I tried to talk to my mom or my dad or certain friends about it, they would just, I almost felt like in a way that they praised me for it, being able to have that kind of self-control, or what people say or think is self-control. And in reality, it's just self-destruction.
I've also heard people say outrageous comments about people with eating disorders, such as, "We do this for attention, we do it so people will compliment us."
A lot of people with eating disorders have other psychological illnesses, not all of them, but a lot of people have depression, anxiety, bipolar, borderline. They have these things that are behind it that they're restricting, or the binging, or the over-exercising, or whatever the behavior is for that person, that it's medicating, and there are deep-rooted issues behind it. And not everyone has gone through like trauma or anything like that, but there's some issue for every person that struggles with an eating disorder that I think a lot of people really need to understand, and they need to understand the entrenchment of the obsessions in a person's life, that it's not they can just stop it whenever they want to.
We don't want to be this way. We don't want to feel like this. But I think that it comes across as vain and self-indulgent when really we honestly feel so worthless and so disgusting about ourselves that it's constantly in our heads.
I hate living like this. I hate having to count everything. I hate having to constantly worry. I hate being afraid to step into my own kitchen.
If I told my friend that she shouldn't be doing that, or that he shouldn't do that to himself the next day, I would be doing the same thing, because I thought it was good and I thought it was what I needed to do.
It's always hard. It's like I'm always at a battle in my mind, and it's frustrating because it's, you know, there's just no way to live.
And it's so hard because people don't understand that anorexia, bulimia, eating disorders, they're self-centered. Like, I only see myself as fat. I don't see other people as fat, ever.
I've had numerous occasions where people have come up to me and say, "Ew, why do you make yourself throw up? That's gross." People act like I like this, like I want this for my life, but I don't.
There's nothing good about it. There is nothing light about it. It's all darkness. It's me being trapped.
I really think that knowing how people think, not just what they're doing, but knowing why they're doing it, is really going to help anyone who ever comes in contact with a person with an eating disorder.
This is such a battle, and I wish other people understood how hard it is for us. And I wish people would stop saying what they think is the right thing when really it's just the wrong thing.
I want people to understand that if somebody in your life is suffering from an eating disorder, there is a lot that you can do.
And I realized what I was doing and how destructive it was, and how I was going to die if I kept it up.
So be really understanding when you're dealing with people who have any kind of eating disorder, because it is one of the hardest things that you will ever have to deal with in your entire life.
I really hope the film Invisible Battles helps other people to come to realize that eating disorders are not choices. They're severe mental disorders.
Because I had people in my life that were willing to fight for me and keep me alive. That's why I'm here today.
I wish that people could understand, because if people could understand, then we could get a hand up.
I really wish that people understood.
I wish that people could understand.
I really wish people understood.
People don't understand what it's like for us on a daily basis. Yeah, us. My name's Elijah, and I struggle with an eating disorder as well. And I'm making a film that will be unlike any other film that's been made about eating disorders. This film will be different because it'll be made through the eyes of those who have eating disorders. It's gonna tell our side of the story, our struggles, our battles. Now, in order for me to make this film a reality, it's gonna take a lot more than what I have. It's gonna take finances, it's gonna take people, it's gonna take resources. But I can't do it on my own. I need your help. I believe that this film is going to be revolutionary. It's going to change the lives of people with eating disorders, but also the lives of people around the world who don't always know how to react or how to respond when they find out that someone that they love has an eating disorder. I hope that this video has been an inspiring glimpse into what could be a very revolutionary film documentary. If you want more information on how to get involved or how to help out this project, go to the link in the description below and you'll be able to find all the information you need. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that together we can make Invisible Battles a reality.